Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today is a special day. Today we are back with an RLCS recap video, and this is a special one. As of this video should be going out on the 4th, so Tuesday. I'm recording this on Monday. We, Genji Mobile One Racing, won the last regional. It is my first regional win in 4 years. It's Cheese and MB's first regional win ever. With the regional win, we qualified for Birmingham Major as NA3 seed. We're all as shocked as you guys. Well, maybe not as shocked, but this was something. So before we get into that regional, I think I made a recap video for Regional 1. I didn't make one for Regional 2. And to be honest, I was just embarrassed. I didn't want to talk about it. Didn't want to talk about it with you guys. Didn't want to talk about it with my friends, my family. I didn't want to talk about it with the team. It sucked. And I was just frankly, I was just embarrassed. I thought I knew we were better than that, and you know, to go down 9th, 12th in regional, or 8th in regional 1, and then 9th, 12th in regional 2, and be 9th in standings, having to play open quals because we're not top 8. It was a feeling that I can't really. I just didn't want to talk about, to be honest. I didn't want to talk about it, but yeah. So no recaps for regional 2, but we get a regional 3 recap and a very special regional. So if you guys don't know how RLCS works, we have 3 regionals a split, 2 splits a season. In each regional, online only, you play your region. 16 teams make the regional. The higher you do, the more money you get and the more points you get to qualify. After the 3 regionals, whoever amasses the most points, those top 4 teams go to the international major. We were in 9th place before this regional. Now we're 3rd. So we did indeed qualify for the major, happening in a couple weeks here in London, or Birmingham, England. Where do we start? So we start with quals. Again, like I said, we had to play open quals because we were 9th in NA. So we play Friday, Saturday, don't really play anyone. Sunday, dude, it's been so long. That Sunday feels like an eternity ago. Oh my, I'm gonna have to look up who we played. Hold please. I'm gonna have to pull up Wikipedia because I don't remember who we played. So we started with Arsenal's team, Arsenal, Cam, and Mizu, 3-0. Then we played Netherlands Canada, who is another like pro team. I'd say they're around 12 to 14 in NA. I think most people would have them. Taroko, Justice, Daunt, 3-0 both of them. And then we played Deleted. Also, if you don't know how this qualifier format works, it is a Swiss, so it's win 3 before you lose 3. You only play teams with the same record as you. So we go 2-0 in the first 2. We now play another 2-0 team. If we win this, we qualify for the regional. We get reverse swept by Deleted, which was an infuriating loss at the time, to be honest. Maybe in the big picture, it was better for bracket, but that's a team that we didn't feel like we could lose to. And to be completely fair, they did change quite a bit of stuff. And it was, I've talked to Andy, but even before talking to him, I knew it. They played much more aggressive. They didn't sit there and submit, and I was really impressed, to be honest. I was like, not proud, because you know I'm not their dad, but I was impressed, and I respected it a lot. I think that's a team that works pretty hard, and I respect it for it. So we get reverse swept by them. We're now 2-1 in the Swiss. We played Talladega, Knight, Adam, and Oath, another like fringe pro team. Not Deleted's not a fringe pro team. Deleted's pro team. I'm saying we play a fringe pro team, and we 3-0 them to qualify for the regional. Qualify for the regional as, I want to say, the 5 seed, I think. Something like that. And realistically, in this regional, we have to get a top 2 to make major. We knew that coming in, that it had to be a top 2. A top 2 with a lot of help. Win it with not much help, but top 2 with a lot of help. And so we set out to do that. We start out, round 1, we play against Pioneers on JNAP's retirement. Regional. Shout out JNAPS, one of the GOATs of NA. You know, people may say the GOAT of NA. Best player to come out of Canada. You know, him and Squishy. Just a really, really respectable career. When I was 14 years old, he was the player I looked up to, like a ton. And to be able to compete against him and hang out with him at LANs, and it was like, I remember LA Major, the first time I ever like hung out with him, actually like just like going to get food with him and you know, just talking, and that was like shell shocking. I was so excited. But we played JNAP's round 1. We won 3-1. We dropped game 1, and they were playing pretty well. They were also playing like they had nothing to lose because they didn't. The team was already dead. JNAP's retiring, and they were moving pretty well. But we won 3-1. We're playing decent. I think Friday was one of my better days. This split. And then we play Complexity for top 6 with 2 lives, which we lose in game 5. We go up 2-1 in the series. and we were playing pretty well. They were just playing great. And game 5, we lose 1-0, I think. And the one goal was me just not playing ball and getting faked. So it is what it is. It was a great series. I was proud of us. I think like the stuff we worked on in scrims, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about because, you know, I think what we do, I think works well. And I don't want to tell the teams what we're doing. But domination and, you know, just going out there and not just squeaking out wins, but really just really doing everything we can to dominate the field, dominate pressure. You know, all that stuff was a huge thing we were working on the last couple of weeks, and we showed progress towards that in group stages against Complexity, which I was proud of, even though we lost. We then go to the lower bracket where we played Deleted Gaming, who is another team in the major race. We win 3-1. I think we're gonna have time for 3 games. Yeah, I can yap. Major race. If we win, we are top 8. If we lose, we're out of the tournament. So it was high stakes for both of us. We win 3-1. I think we lost game 3, if I remember correctly. They played well, and they came out and punched, and they came out aggressive, which I respected because they didn't do that at the beginning of the split. And they did try and, you know, dominate. They didn't just sit there and try to squeak out a win by playing defense and counterattacking. They tried to come at us, and I respect that a lot. I think that's how you have to play to win. You know, you can play defensive and counterattack and absorb pressure to a point. If you do that, unless you're, you know, the best players in the world, you're not going to win anything. You can place decent, but it's never going to be, your ceiling can only be so high. So to see them making those changes, I respect it a ton. I like all 3 of the players. I love Rold as their coach. That's a good group of guys that I root for. Now, we have made top 8. We have one more match in groups that is for seeding, which ended up being a huge match. We played Pioneers again because they swept Omelette. Put Pioneers a seeding match, won the first 2, lose the next 2, win game 5. We kind of unlocked, I'll say. It's tough to take a seeding match serious, which sounds insane. I know it's RLCS. You should take everything serious, but it's tough. It really is tough. And games 3 and 4, our challenges were really bad, and I think that was like the clear cut, like why we were losing. Game 5, we relocked in and beat them like 5-1. I felt really confident. So we are now top 8, and things get a little bit more interesting because 1, Team Evo did not make the regional. 2, 9 Lives is knocked out dead last. 3, Shopify is knocked out dead last, and now Deleted is out before top 8. So realistically, the major spot is SSG's as long as they win a series, which they had made top 8, 2 lives. They just needed one more win to clinch, basically. And they play Poab in the top 6 match, and they lose game 7 overtime. And then they play Ultimates in the lower semifinal, that would be, or lower quarter, whatever. And they lose 4-0. Ultimate slammed. So we play Strictly Business, and this is a series that I played miserably bad in. Like, okay, not that bad. I missed 2 open nets, or 1 open net, 1 open shot, and I just gave up some bad goals. And I was kind of tweaking. My comms weren't great. I didn't feel great, like not even just in Rocket League. I just felt off that entire day. And I'm really glad that wasn't Sunday, because if we had played a Complexity or even a Poab maybe, or an Ultimates, we would have lost. But thankfully it was just Strictly Business, and we were able to get out of there with a dub 4-2. My teammates played insane that series. They actually, like, that was the first series, not the first series where, you know, I just felt carried. Like, it was awesome. They were slamming. So we won that. We are now top 6, and this is where things get interesting because this leads up to Sunday. Championship Sunday is the top 6. So we have Complexity first round, which is a team that going into the split, I would have told you is NA number 2. I rate this team really high. I rated them over Ultimates at the start of the split. They grind really hard. They work really hard on kickoffs, and you know, you can see the way they play that they really lock in on the tactical part of stuff, and they grind ranked. It's just a really commendable team. I respect all 3 of them really hard, and it's a team that in scrims and, you know, we struggled with, and in tournament we've played twice and we've lost to them both times, and we struggled. So this is a series I wouldn't say I was pretty nervous for it. And because it felt like if we won this, it was real. Because playing Complexity for top 4, if we would have won, if we beat them, we then had Poab for finals, which all love to Poab. I actually love all 3 of those guys. But you don't get a semifinal match against Poab very often. It's a very respectable top 8 team, But usually to make a final, you got to play like an Ultimates or an NRG or a Complexity. And we didn't, because Poab had an insane run up until us. So Complexity is the series where it was like, wow, if we win this, we're going to have a tiebreaker at minimum. So we play Complexity, and the first 3 games are 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And we're playing awesome during them. And everything we're doing is working. You know, everything we talked about, everything we counter-stratted, all the kickoffs we were doing, we were blowing up their kickoffs. It was just great Rocket League. Comms were great, energy was great. It was just perfect. And I think game 4, I wouldn't say we got ahead of ourselves, but I don't exactly remember the goals. I just remember us being a little antsy and a little like, wow, this is real. Like, we're excited. We're giving up some dumb goals. Game 5 we go into, I hit an ugly double touch, and then we get a kickoff goal that actually, we were joking because before the Complexity series, so we warmed up Ultimates for their top 6 match versus SSG, and we had an hour break because we were the second series, so we had a little time to kill. And Kev Pert, our assistant coach or analyst, whatever you want to call him, made us, me, MB, and Cheese, go into a private match against him, Greg, our other coach, and Thunda, our sub, and practice like kickoffs for 20 minutes. And he would they would emulate what Complexity did, and it was just really respectable. It was hilarious how like dead set Kevpert was on us doing these kickoffs. It was just like, I've never seen him like that before. And we go in, and you guys can go back to it. I mean, I showed it earlier in this video, the first game I showed. Our second goal was just a kickoff goal that I've never tried that kickoff, and it worked because of us doing that VOD sesh. So it was hilarious how it worked. We were all joking. If you go back into the stream, you can see all of us laughing because like, wow, Kevfert just scored an RLCS goal. Like, he was the reason we scored this goal. So that was funny. So we beat Complexity 4-1. Pretty calm, to be honest. I don't think they played great. I think we had a really good day, of course, but I've seen Complexity at higher levels. You know, CR missing a pretty easy backboard read, Raisable and Diaz not being like super threatening on offense. It's not often if you hold, that was almost peak by the way, if you hold Complexity to, I think we held them to 2 goals in the series, unless you're absolutely peaking, like they're probably not playing great. So I think we definitely shut them down a bit. I think they also had a little bit of an off day. We'll take both of those. So the Complexity, we now have Poab. If we win this match, we are guaranteed a tiebreaker with SSG for the major. If we lose, we're out of the tournament, and we're like 6th in standings. Again, like I said, this is a series where I respect Poab a ton, and they've actually been giving us a ton of trouble in scrims, like very disproportionately. We scrim pretty well against NRG. We scrim pretty well against Ultimates. We scrim pretty well against Complexity. You know, obviously, you know, they beat us, we beat them, we tie, you know, the works. Poab has been giving us a consistent struggle this entire season, which is strange, but they were. And it's, you know, they beat SSG. They had a good run up to us, but we came in prepared. We came in like fast, and they had seriously 0 answers. One of the most dominant series I've played in a long time. They had us in like the first minute, and then they kind of own gold. And after that, it was smooth sailing. It was not really close. So we followed that. We are now in the final. We play Ultimates. If we lose, we have an SSG tiebreaker right after the series. If we win, we are guaranteed major, and we won the regional, which, again, like I said, I haven't won a regional since April of 2021. So, I mean, you can imagine how, you know, how that felt. But this is a team that was red hot. They forward SSG, they forward NRG. I think their goal difference before playing us against those 2 teams was 26-4. They gave up 4 goals in 2 best-of-7s, one against NRG and SSG. So, like, they were coming in hot, and they played it. They took first 2 games, game 2 being like an 8-minute overtime. They were impressive. First Killer had himself a day. He was playing unreal. Of course, FK and LJ, they're always going to play great. But FK was, Chronic and LJ. But FK was moving. He was playing fantastic. And even after we lost game 4, if you go back, I think we dominated. I just owned goal 3 times. Like, it really, or maybe at least 2 of them. But I just played horrible. We had great pressure, and I just like, after that game, I was like, wow, we can actually like win this series. As like weird as that sounds, going down 3-1, like we were very confident. Game 5, we go in and dominate. I think we go up like 3-0 first like minute and a half. Game 6 is really close. I think we have majority pressure, but it goes OT. MB with a great like 1v3. I just clean up, but he did all the work. And then game 7, we have this game. Again, in this overtime, there's a 3-minute overtime. We are on their half 90% of it. They were making insane saves. We end up winning, and winning the regional still, like, we're like 36 hours out now. It doesn't feel real. Again, I had gotten to a point, especially on Optic, when we had gone dead last in 2 back-to-back regionals, where not only did I think like I was never going to win a regional again, like I thought it was pretty close to over for me professionally, and a lot of doubt is surrounding this team. And guys, I've said on the interview, I've said it multiple times, the doubt wasn't just you guys. We have talked roster moves, the possibility of picking up Chronic in the offseason. Obviously, this offseason wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for us. And, I really respect Cheese for the way he handled it, to be, picked up on the team a year and a half ago, to play an entire season with us, to basically kicked for Chronic, to come back a couple weeks later. FIFA E comes around, more heartbreak. First 2 regionals come around, more heartbreak. People are being, fans are being, a little pitchforky, which I understand. We were horrible. And to come into the regional, he's a nervous kid. He loves the game, and he is honestly one of the biggest grinders in the pro scene. But because of that, he definitely wears his heart on his sleeve with this game, and he would want nothing else than success in this game. So to see him, after all that, come out and just ball out in this regional was super impressive. No one wants to think about what would have happened if we sucked this regional. Really, no one. Because it was all on the table. Everyone knew if we sucked again, there was probably going to be a roster change. No one knows. No one really knows. We never got that far, but everyone on our team knew the stakes, and to come out and do what we did, I really don't know how it happened, but like I said, I told them before the finals started, you don't know how many grand finals you're going to play in RLCS. You don't know how many RLCS series you're going to play. So, like I said, I haven't won one in 4 years. This is my first one since I was 17 years old, which is crazy to say out loud. Maybe 18. I think it was 18. But still, regardless, it's the first one since I was teamed with Arsenal and Sypical. So, to the fans that stuck around and never gave up, I appreciate you. To the fans that stuck around and did give up, I still appreciate you. I understand what we put you guys through. I don't really have a ton of words other than this is what I have known we could do the entire time. This is what I knew Cheese could play like. This is what I knew MB could play like. This is what I knew our system could do. This is what I knew I could play like. Both of my coaches are sub Thunder. Like I said, the process was not always trusted. Everyone had their doubts, including us, but to finally see everything pay off was something like a dopamine rush that I don't know if I'll ever feel again, to be honest. I don't know if anything tops this except maybe winning Worlds, really. Even winning a major, to have to win and in for the regional from, having all the doubts from FIFA E and Split 2 last year and everything. And it was a pretty unreal feeling. And I know we got some Retals OGs that also, I thought this was in, by the way. I thought I peaked. I know we have some Retals OGs in here that, I know what you guys have seen, and I appreciate all you. I love all you guys so much, and all the Twitter comments, the YouTube comments of congratulating us were very appreciated. I saw all of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say other than going forward, we are NA number 3 going into the major, exactly where we were last year. Except last year we had fluked into a top 2. This year I don't want to say dominated because obviously Game 7 overtime it's unbelievably close. But we dominated our way to at least the finals and, won it. So this split, I think, is very different. I do think we'll be a threat internationally. It's going to take time, and I'm interested to see how Birmingham goes. I'm very confident, but all roads lead to Worlds, The next 6 months, we're going to try and play our best. We're going to try and win more regionals. We're going to try and, win majors, but it's all about improving and getting ready for the big one in Paris or Lyon. So, again, for all you guys that stuck around, I appreciate you guys. This is definitely my best regional recap yet because I think this is the first regional recap I've done that I've ever won an event in. because I didn't really do content back then. It feels pretty insane. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I mean, we'll skip ahead to the goal because I think I'm getting out of here pretty soon, but it's right here. I appreciate you guys. Birmingham in a couple weeks. We're going to get major ready. For the people that are going to be there, I'm excited to meet you guys. For the people that are staying at home, I'm excited for you guys to watch. I think we're going to turn some heads, and you know, we've won the regional. First step was winning the regional. Well, first step was making majors. Second step was winning regional. So we did both of those at the same time. Third step is let's try and compete internationally and actually compete, not just be there. Let's compete. So I'm excited for it. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.